When Elgato came out with their lineup of 2021 products, including the Face Cam and the Wave XLR, I do not believe that they thought that these two products were going to be as popular as they are. And I'm going to show you one of them today. The Wave mic arm. So here we have it, the Wave mic arm with the Wave 3 microphone installed. As you can see, it is a beautiful specimen. I like it a lot. It's actually really robust looking. It looks like something that would actually go inside of a radio studio. Nice professional quality. It is made of a combination of plastic and metal. The sides here are made out of plastic. The internals, a lot of them are metal. It has Elgato's ball joint here, so you can do a lot of different things with your microphone. You can turn it in all kinds of different directions. And they did this not only because they don't want you just to use your microphone with this, because it has 1/4 inch 20 threads here, you can use this for virtually any kind of webcam, camera, anything like that, up to 2.2 pounds. So it gives you a lot of flexibility and things that you could do with this. So it comes with this clamp here that you can see. The clamp is all metal, very well designed. It has a couple nice little features that I like, including it has padding on both sides of where it's going to meet up with your desktop, so it'll reduce the chances of getting scratches there. And it has a nice ratcheting arm that you can use to tighten the clamp with. And it comes pretty standard with a lot of their products now that you're seeing with the multi-mount, that sort of thing. But it's a very nice clamp, very well built. I like it a lot. It also comes with an extender. This is, I think it's 5.8 inches. That goes right into the clamp, slides in, and then you just slide your mic arm in, and it gives you an additional 8.9 inches of total vertical length with the extension installed from the clamp to the top of the mic arm here. A couple things you need to know about these is these do have set screws in them. Let's see if I can turn around, and I don't know. See, I'll shoot up on the camera here. But you should see a tiny little Allen screw right there. That is a set screw that you can use to tighten up the arm inside of the slot there. If you feel like it might slide out, or give you a little extra tension. I have used the set screw here. I actually adjusted this a little bit last night on my Wave Arm LP. Video coming on that one soon. One of the things I like about the riser too is while this is made out of metal, they have provided a nice plastic insert here that helps with noise. It helps with keeping the friction to a minimum when you're moving the mic arm around, which is really nice. And overall, I mean, this thing makes very little noise at all. I mean, it's very quiet compared to some of the other microphone arms, which you will see here in a little bit. But very nice, quiet, very little noise, and it does a great job at handling the weight of the Wave 3 and a lot of microphones. Now, the max weight on this thing is 2.2 pounds. It does come with this counterweight. So if you're using a microphone that is less than, I think, 1.1 pounds, they definitely recommend you use this, because if you don't, then this is going to rise on you. This is a fixed tension mic arm. You cannot adjust tension on this. So they provided this counterweight for low weight microphones or webcams is another thing that you could, that you would need to use this for. But it slides on just like so. And you can use this counterweight for anything up to 1.65 pounds. Anything over 1.65 pounds, say like the Shure SM7B Rode PodMic, those heavier microphones, then they recommend you take the weight off and just use the mic arm as it is without the weights, because the tension will be able to handle it just fine. A couple of other nice little features on this is you do have these cable channels. So for you cable management nuts, you have a nice slot here that you can hide your cable in, and then when you get it in there, then you just snap this cover back into place, and it goes on like so, and you have totally hidden cables. No crazy straps, nothing exposed. It's all nice and hidden. It does come over the top here and down into this other channel back here where you have another top you could take off to get that cable channel exposed. Now, I will say this: if you're using a USB microphone like the Wave 3 here, you can do a couple things. So you can take this joint arm off take this joint off, and then this little cover just slides off. You can run a USB-C cable. I don't know about a USB type A, but a USB-C cable, which most mics today are now supporting. You can slide that under this cover, and it'll come down through the bottom and into the back of the mic here. You can slide the cover back on, and that'll even give you even better aesthetics for cable management if you want to. Now, this will not work for an XLR cable, but if you're using a USB-C, I have done this with the Wave 3, and it does work well. Likewise, you can take this cover off. There are little teeth at the bottom here that holds this thing in place, so be very careful if you decide to take this off. But you can also take that USB-C cable and run it underneath this and hide it away, and then snap this back in over the top of it. But be very careful, because this will break easily. Okay, so to be safe, I probably wouldn't do it, but I did do it, so be forewarned. Be careful with it. But other than that, look, this thing works really good. But what I would like to do now is I would like to do a comparison between this and one of its main competitors, the Rode PSA-1 microphone arm that I was able to get here recently. And I'd like to compare both of them together, kind of show you, the heights differences between them, how they operate, which one's quieter, which one's noisier, which one holds weight better, and then I will give you my thoughts on the Wave mic arm at the end of the video. All right, so I want to do a comparison of the Wave mic arm and compare it to one of its main competitors, and this is the Rode PSA-1. Both retail right now for about $99.99 on Amazon, other websites in the United States. But you can tell obviously that there are some stark differences between the two mic arms. Of course, the Wave mic arm, has the aesthetics. I really like it compared to what the Rode PSA-1 has with this, which is, pretty standard look for scissor arms. They're a dime a dozen. They all look like this. The only difference is mainly between some of them that the Rode PSA-1 has is that the springs, instead of them being on the outside, they're on the inside. You can see part of the mechanical mechanism right here that controls tension. But overall, it's a pretty standard looking scissor arm. It does come with 4 straps that you can connect a cable to. It does have a cable channel right here that you can run your XLR or your USB cable through. And then, of course, like I said, you strap them down. They come in. These straps are actually pretty nice, the ones that Rode provides. Of course, it comes right out of the desk clamp here, which the desk clamp I think is pretty suitable, and we'll look more of that here in a second. It does have the standard mic threads on it. It does have this adapter you can screw down to tighten a mic. If your mic does not go all the way up on the threads, you can bring this down so that your mic is nice and tight on here. And then, of course, it has these thumb screws that you can then adjust tension on, and you can move this around as necessary. Pretty standard for a mic arm. Now let's compare it to the Wave mic arm, which is, I think, substantially different for the same price. As you can tell here, the body is a lot more rugged looking, a lot beefier. Instead of having straps to strap your cables onto the arms here, you can actually pull this channel out, and you could put the cable down inside here, and then once they're inside, you put this channel back on top of it, and that hides your cable. Now your cable will be exposed, right here at the bottom where your mic would hang down. Your cable would come up through this channel right here and then back down to this other side. Again, you have another channel here where you can bring your cable in, and once you have it run down, and you put this cap up the top, and then your cable's totally hidden for the most part. I appreciate that I think that, the Elgato went an extra mile and designed this so that it, hides your cable instead of having it exposed. They wanted to go above and beyond what a standard scissor arm would do, and I think that did it personally. Likewise, it does have you can pull this out with a standard clamp. The difference is, though, with the clamp here on the mic arm, and also the extension that comes with it, which I don't know if the Rode PSA-1 comes with an extension or not. You do have set screws in this clamp where you can tighten this down so you can have tension on the bottom here as you rotate it back and forth. Now, personally, I've never tightened it down. I like to have this kind of free movement. I don't feel like you need to tighten it down to make sure that it's going to stay inside of the clamp. I've never had any problems with it where it's come out. And you know, likewise with the extension, you know, you put the extension in, you still have good stability. I don't feel like it's going to come out of that. So, but both of these have set screws in them. If you feel like you need to tighten it down, that's fine. So I think aesthetically, I think the wave arm has the upper hand here. I just like the way it looks. It looks more beefier. You know, it's got the logos on it. You can see the logos on the side. The cable management's better. And I also want to show you this here. Now, this is a big difference too between the Rode and the wave mic arm. So the wave mic arm has 1/4-20 threads, but you can get an adapter to make it the standard microphone size, and you just screw that on to get it. But this allows you to use the wave mic arm for other things, such as mounting a camera, for instance. I have this little camera here that's 1/4-20 threads, and I could put this right on here, and now I can use my wave mic arm for say a webcam or something like that, which is nice. Not only does it come with 1/4-20 threads, is it has this ball joint, and this is pretty standard now with a lot of Elgato's products, multi-mount, all that stuff. But you have this ball joint that you can pretty much turn this thing any way you want and get any angle that you need out of this camera, which is really nice. With the Rode PSA-1, you're restricted to being able to rotate this one direction, and then you would have to move the mic arm. But with this, the ball joint gives you more directions that you can point things to, so it just gives you that flexibility. So I think that's another +1 for the mic arm. So now let's go ahead and we'll compare how it handles weight. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you before I take this camera off, and this goes along with weight. So say if you have a microphone that I would say is less than a pound or around a pound, if you do not use the included weight, you can have issues with your mic riding up like that because the spring tension is too high. So they did provide this weight that you can install, and it just simply slides on right here. And now you don't have to worry about it, and everything's controllable. You can move it wherever you need to. Because now I have the Rode PodMic attached to the wave mic. This is possibly the heaviest mic that you would probably be able to use for any application. I mean, this mic is just a beast. It weighs a little over 2 pounds. So I just wanted to show you how well the mic arm controls this, since it's right at its max weight of 2.2 pounds. So you can see here just a little bit of drop when I let go of the mic. This movement is quite fluid though, really smooth. For the most part, you can put this thing pretty much anywhere you want, even max extension, and it will be able to handle it just fine. So weight's really not a problem for the Rode PodMic. Pretty much any other mic you'll be fine with. As I said, I think this is probably the heaviest mic that most streamers will ever use. Okay, so here we have the Rode PSA-1 with the Rode PodMic attached, and you can tell. Now, I will say this: pretty amazed at the stiffness of this. I mean, it does not move. You put it where it is, it does not move. Compared to the wave mic arm, I feel like this has a lot more tension to it to be able to handle the Rode PodMic's weight. But you could tell, I mean, it's there. Now you will notice, and you should hear this in a microphone pretty significantly, is the noise. There is significant amount more noise that you have with the Rode PSA-1 compared to the wave mic arm, which could be a detractor for a lot of people. Now granted, the Rode PSA-1 here, this one is a year old. That might be playing into the reason why it's more noisy than the wave mic arm. I've only had this for a little over a month now. So time will tell with the wave mic arm, but this is pretty noisy. But it does handle the weight, I think, better than the wave mic arm. All right, so this is the physical size of both of these are pretty similar to each other. At full vertical extension, they are pretty close to matching each other's size. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know if the Rode PSA-1 comes with an extension, but the wave mic arm I know does. And this will give you an extra, a little over 5 inches of lift vertically. You can see just how much more verticality you get with the Wave mic arm to get over those big monitors, or if you're on a stand where you have your monitor up higher than normal, this will give you that option, which is really nice. And I actually do use this for my setup. Okay, so first let's go ahead and talk about the clamps. These both come with pretty robust desktop clamps. You can see that there are some major differences between the two though, and we'll talk about those. So first of all, with the Wave PSA1, comparing both of these together, this is definitely lighter. I would almost say it's probably about half the weight of the Elgato clamp, but it's pretty standard. It comes with this standard stud that you can rotate up and down. It has the standard slide handle that you can slide back and forth if you're in a tight spot and you can only turn this part way, then you have that option. What I do like about it is it comes with a very nice base for the mic arm to slide into. And it comes with nice padding on the top. Now, it does not have any padding on this bottom piece here. You would need to add a piece of foam of your own to be able to get that if you don't want it to scratch your desk up any. But overall, it does a very good job at clamping down and holding the Rode PSA1 in place, which is really nice, and you don't need a ton of tension to keep it there. It does hold its spot well, which is nice. It is a combination of metal and plastic, this top part being plastic right here, which helps with sound and anything transmitting when you're moving the arm around. So it does help out a lot. Now let's talk about the Wave mic arm from Elgato. Now, as you can see, they've put a lot of thought into the design of this. You have a nice solid base here. This is all metal. It does have a plastic insert here to help with movement of the arm itself and to keep it from making a lot of noise. And it has a nice, I think, clamp, and I think this has a better design than, a more rugged design than what the Rode PSA1 has. If you'll notice, with the Rode PSA1, you can see that this handle is bent on this thing. And that is just from, I guess, maybe over torquing, but over time it's just caused that to happen. This has a nice handle, and Elgato uses this for their different clamps that they have for, other things like key lights and everything else. But this is nice because, you get full rotation. This handle is nice and solid. The clamps have pads on both the bottom and the top, so you don't have to worry about scratching your desk. And if you're in a tight spot and you need to turn this, you turn it to the point that you need to, where you can't go anymore, and then you just pull it down, move it back, and let it go. And that releases this stud from going up and down, and then you can raise it, pull it down, turn it, pull it down, and it's like a ratchet on this, which is really nice. I like this design. The weight on this is, like I said, about twice as much by feel as what the Rode PSA1 clamp is. It's just more robust. All right, so my thoughts on the Wave mic arm. I'm gonna be honest with you, at $99.95, I am shocked at the quality that you get and the functionality that you get out of the Wave mic arm. I mean, the cable management, the aesthetics, the design is just something that you would expect out of something that you would find at $200 and up. I'm not gonna lie, I was skeptical at first, and there is a few things that I wish that they would have thought about, and I have expressed this with them already. I would like to be able to use an XLR cable here where you can slide it down and hide it. I'm just not a big fan of the cable coming out and it, being down on the side where it's, still there and you can see it. They went through all the trouble of doing all this nice cable management, but they didn't think about an option of where you can bring the cable down, even though you can do that with a USB cable. But I hope that, if they were able to do a revision or a different version of this, that they would take this into account to where you could bring the cable down through the bottom and into your microphone there. But other than that, that's really my only beef. Maybe the fact that it's a fixed tension and that you are limited somewhat. I thought that it would be nice if it just had a little bit more tension for the Rode PodMic because, well, let's face it, the Rode PodMic is really popular nowadays for a lot of streamers. You're seeing more and more people use them and pick them up, not only for podcasting, but also for gaming on Twitch streams, that sort of thing, because it's a quality microphone at an affordable price at $100. And while it weighs a ton, I get it. It is a huge, I mean, it is a big microphone, and it's a very weighty microphone. But it would be nice to know that this will be able to handle it just a little bit better, because it's right on the edge as far as the max weight goes for this arm. But I mean, pretty much every microphone you'll be able to throw at it, and it'll handle it just fine. So that's really my only two gripes with it. I'm very happy with it. I like it. It's quiet. It just does everything you need it to do. And the fact that you have this extension, it just gives you a lot of options that you could use on your live streaming setup. So very good, Elgato. Very good. When I'm gonna be honest with you, when I heard about this mic arm, this and the mic arm LP, which both retail at the same price at $99.95, I was expecting $200, at least $200, especially with the LP. But the Wave mic arm at $99.95, it just smokes the competition. I'm not going to lie. When I compare it to the Rode PSA 1, I don't even think there's a comparison. There's really only one thing that the Rode PSA 1 did better, and that was, you know, handle the weight. Other than that, the Wave mic arm smoked it. So that's my thoughts on this micro arm. You should definitely, if you're looking at buying a quality mic arm and you're in the market for one, definitely look at the Wave mic arm, because it is a steal of a deal. Very proud of Elgato for doing that, because they really chopped the market. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting the price they offered for this. I really wasn't. So good job on Elgato for providing affordability, quality, and great design. Other than that, guys, that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this video, make sure you leave that like, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, well, hit the thumbs down. I appreciate you watching anyway. But other than that, everybody, have a great rest of your week. We'll see you later.